Okay, over the past 20 years of selling Las Vegas real estate, I've seen a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and well, as the other Lebo would say,
this is a very complicated case, Maud. You know, a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous, and a lot of strands to keep in my head, man. You know.
So yeah, as Lebowski so articulately stated, this is a very complicated case, man. So today I'm going to quickly break down all of the analytics and attempt to make some sense out of this utterly insane housing market that we're all caught up in. Okay, first up are last month's sales. Sadly, we only managed to sell 2,009 homes last month. This was the worst sales for June in well over an entire decade. Even during the pandemic, we managed to sell 200 more homes that June compared to last month. Statistically speaking, that puts us down over 19% from last June, which wasn't good either, and down 2% from the previous month of May. So naturally, with slumping sales, that has to mean that the median price was affected as well, right? On the screen now, you can see that somehow we managed to increase yet again from $440,000 in May up to $444,000 last month. Now, to add some context, this puts us down 7.5% from this time last year. Now, on the other hand, prices started free falling around this same time last year. So even if the median price manages to just stabilize at, say, $445,000, we'll be dead even with last year by this September. Remember, we ended December with a median price of only $420,000. So it seems a pretty safe bet at this point to say that we'll end this year up about 5% over last year. Seriously, try and wrap your head around that one. God forbid the median price manages to continue its increases, we could wind up around 10% over last year. Again, I know we're talking crazy town here. All right, now let's check out the most important metric right now, which are current inventory levels. As you can see now, while we did manage to decrease for the 8th straight month, we only lost 28 homes. So suffice to say, our inventory seems to have finally stabilized around 3,500 homes. But as I'll show you later, even that number is somewhat misleading. Now, last but not least, we have housing absorption by price range. This allows us to see how different price ranges are actually performing. If you're looking to purchase a $2 million estate, who the hell cares how the market is for entry-level homes, and vice versa. So the higher the percentage, the more competitive that price range is performing. Now, first up is the bulk of our entire market, homes priced between $250,000 and $500,000. For the first time since March of last year, this managed to decrease from 52% down to 51%, meaning half the homes that you see on the market are already under contract. Now, next we have 500 to 750. This managed to stabilize at 37%. Next, we move up to 750 to 1 million. This managed to slightly decrease from 32% to 31%. Now let's start talking luxury, 1 million to 1.5 million. This too stabilized at 24%. Finally, we have the ultra luxury market of over $1.5 million. This was the pretty biggest surprise. We went from 18% up to 20%. Now, overall, the entire market is at 42%. Again, almost half of the homes on the entire market are already under contract. But the big takeaway here was that the ultra luxury market is performing surprisingly well. Not only was the percentage up, but there were more homes listed for sale as well as under contract as well. So despite decreasing inventory, the ultra luxury market is still performing quite well. This tells us a lot about our current housing market. So let's attempt to try try and make some sense out of this madness. Sales are dismal, but the median price is still increasing somehow. Inventory seems to have plateaued, and while the overall market seems to have stabilized, the ultra luxury market is the only segment that's actually improving. So what in the actual hell is going on out there? Okay, first, let's talk about the regular market before we worry about luxury. Honestly, it's just a mess out there. Last week, we received a better than expected employment report, which unfortunately sent the 10-year bond spiking. Now, as we know from my video on how mortgage rates are determined, that also raised mortgage interest rates well over 7%. So essentially the bad news just got worse. So for everyone out there looking to purchase, it seems that day by day, you're getting less and less for your money. So think about it this way. For the average consumer purchasing a median priced home at, say, $450,000, when rates were at 3%, that mortgage payment was $1,800. Now, at 7%, that same mortgage payment is over $2,800 a month. Literally, the exact same priced home will cost you more than $1,000 per month more. Now, the average Joe isn't going to just pony up that extra cash. What it really means is that the person who can afford an $1,800 payment can now only afford a $285,000 property when they could have bought a $450,000 property just last year. Now, for the average home buyer, that's the difference between a small home in the best neighborhood like Summerlin or Green Valley versus now fighting for literally, there's 18 homes in Las Vegas priced right now under $285,000. So now that buyer is either realistically going to purchase a condo or simply just wait this out. I can tell you, most buyers are simply extending their leases and just sitting tight. Now on the ultra luxury side, we've got similar but different issues. Thankfully for California, there's no end to the California exodus. With so many wealthy people relocating here from California, the value of avoiding state taxes always trumps the cost of financing. If you make $1 million plus a year, would you rather give the state 13% of your money or give yourself an additional $10,000 a month towards your mortgage payment? It's a pretty rhetorical question, right? A couple years ago, wealthy individuals who had the ability to pay cash for a home were still taking out mortgages because at only 3% interest, they were making more money with their money in various investment markets. Now I'm seeing more and more of these individuals looking for some form of creative financing or just paying cash since jumbo loans are now rivaling their expected returns in the stock market. But the numbers don't lie here. Las Vegas is simply becoming wealthier and wealthier. Back in 2014, there were only 24 homes sold over $3 million. It used to be really difficult to sell a $3 million home. As lousy as the last 12 months have been, we've sold 124 homes over $3 million. Over 6 times as many homes sold. Not to mention, they're selling in 75% of the time that it used to. Now, the last topic I want to mention has to do with our inventory levels. As I've been saying for months now, while we have about 3,500 homes on the market, over half of those homes are so overpriced that you can't even realistically purchase them. So here's one fantastic example. Recently, I showed a home in this neighborhood, and I actually thought about potentially flipping one of them since there were some pretty profitable flips in that neighborhood in the recent past. Now, these are 5,000 square foot McMansions located in a guard-gated neighborhood within a master plan community. But check this out. About 3 weeks ago, there was only 4 homes for sale. Now, there's 9 homes for sale, and only one of them is under contract. That's because that one home is over $200,000 below the next cheapest home. In a market with no inventory, why can't this entire neighborhood sell a home? Reason? Clearly, the entire neighborhood is overpriced. I don't care what condition these homes are in. Everything sells when it's priced right. This is why I'm telling you, most of what's out there is grossly overpriced. So not only do buyers have to deal with high interest rates and less affordability as a result, but they also have little to no inventory, and what's out there is largely overpriced. So while this market is far from wonderful, if you can't sell your home, it's either marketed poorly and or you grossly overpriced your property and it's simply going to continue to sit. All right, well, that's it for this month's video, guys. If you didn't catch my last couple videos this month regarding why appraisals are, let's just say, BS, and then its predecessor video regarding what the Biden administration is trying to do in order to curb racist appraisals, please check them out, and I'll add a link below in the description. I got a bunch of great property tours in the pipeline as well, so please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and be sure to help me out by subscribing. As always, deuces to Deuce, my grumpy little birthday boy.